Local congregations often have a particular identity that represents the people there and what the Holy Spirit's working in the people in that congregation and how that congregation interacts with the people in its immediate environment, its town, its neighborhood, the city, its nation sometimes, depending upon the size of that congregation and who attends it and how old it is. A lot of variables there. But it's that identity of a congregation I want to bring up a little bit in this video. And to talk about something that we read about in the Old Testament, about two different tents, and how these two different tents, in a way, are an allegory, an illustration of what it's like here at Church of the Ascension. The first tent is the tent of sacrifice. Before Solomon built the temple, in Gibeon, there was the tent or the tabernacle where the bronze altar was. And there, the Levites continued to offer the sacrifices in accordance with the commands that God gave to Moses. It's at Gibeon that Solomon has his first dream where he speaks with the Lord and has that conversation about what God would do for Solomon. And Solomon requests wisdom. God says, because you've not asked for wealth and long life and honor and fame and all of these great things that so many people want. He says, because you've asked for wisdom, I will give you wisdom and understanding and all these other things. And that's at the place of sacrifice. This bronze altar of sacrifice with a priesthood, with liturgy in the sense of organized, delineated roles for worship, prayer, devotion, consecration. The second tent we read about was set up by King David. King David set up his tent there on where Mount Zion will be and the temple will be built, the city of David, there in Jerusalem, off to the side. And in this tent isn't the bronze altar of sacrifice, but the Ark of the Covenant. And there in this tent is the glory of God. And the glory of God is the Ark of the Covenant there, and the singers and the musicians are all organized and arranged according to King David's prescription, and there they worship and they praise and they exalt God. It's an exuberant place of declaration and worship. Now, what's fantastic is that when King Solomon builds the temple, those two tents aren't separate anymore. They become one place, one temple, where in that one temple there is the form and the liturgy and the order that God gave to Moses, and the praise and prophecy and declaration and dance of King David. Here at Church of the Ascension, we want to continue to embody those two tents as part of the one temple. We want to have the liturgy and the order and the form of the global historic Catholic Church. And as Anglicans, we share in that. But we also want a spirit of vibrant praise and worship and declaration, the presence and very weighty glory of God. If you're looking for a congregation with an identity that's something like that, or maybe you've never seen something like that, I want to encourage you to come worship with us. And if you're watching this from very far away and you can't be here to join in worship, join us from afar by praying that God continue to pour out His Holy Spirit upon us here. Thank you.